Well, in case you were wondering if this is spreading around the world, the answer is sadly yes. Got a quick update for you here in the United States. Woman who, in my opinion, murdered a young mother in Florida by, like a coward, shooting her through the door after goading her to be there by using racial slurs against her children. She was arrested. I believe that happened 3 days ago. Yay. It's deeply disappointing that because of stand your ground laws, it took that long. Sheriff really had to think about that one, huh? You insult someone's children, that person comes to talk to you, and then you kill him. Shoot him through a door. Well, it's having an effect around the world. Let's look how our neighbors to the north are behaving. Thank you so much, racists in America. This was originally from a newspaper that I did not think was very reliable. But it was also picked up by Newsweek and confirmed by Newsweek. This apparently sure happened, despite how badly I did not want to believe it. A man in Canada stopped a track meet to accuse a 9-year-old girl of being transgender. Hey, real quick, who cares? If it's a 9-year-old child, who cares what gender they are, truly? What coaches are out there spotting for the next big thing at the age of 9? It was simply an opportunity, I think, for this person to show off what a bigot they were. But nonetheless, let's talk about how this person traumatized a child for life. A children's track and field meet in Kelowna, British Columbia, was interrupted last week when a man allegedly accused a 9-year-old girl of being transgender. The girl competing in the track meet in Kelowna last Thursday was not transgender, but sported a pixie haircut. I like the pixie cut. I hope this doesn't discourage other folks from having it. The day, which started out positive as the girl placed in the discus event, took a dark turn when the man began accusing her of being transgender. The LGBTQ plus community has been thrust into political debates recently instead of just being allowed to live their lives. What the hell, Republicans? Hey, real quick, conservatives. If you are sick of folks talking about being gay all the time, quit bringing it up. You would be shocked how little on the left that is discussed. Not that we don't know folks are gay. It's not that we don't use the pronouns people will ask us to use, because that's simple manners. It's just not an issue. Frankly, not something I think about at all, unless a conservative psychopath is trying to assault somebody over it. So I have to think about it every day. Get a hold of yourselves, for Christ's sake. As conservative lawmakers attempt to pass legislation limiting their rights and keeping discussion of gender identity out of schools. Again, I've never heard so much discussion of gender identity in schools, but for the Republicans that keep bringing it up. Conservatives with nothing better to do than to bother people. Apparently you don't have real problems. Good for you. Don't add to everybody else's by being insufferable cunts. Innocuously annoying people. While President Joe Biden has defended transgender athletes' ability to compete, support for transgender athletes has declined over the past 2 years, regardless of political affiliation. Because we apparently don't understand that games are games. A recent Gallup poll found 69% of Americans agree that transgender athletes should play sports on teams that match their birth gender. I literally don't care. If you're competitive, be competitive. Don't try to get your competition away on a technicality. That's cowardly. Up from 62% in 2021, where we could also go to hell, all of us. While Republicans and independents are more likely to take that stance, 48% of Democrats agree that transgender athletes should compete on sports teams that match their birth gender, an increase from 41% who felt that way in 2021. Real quick, if you are on any political party, remember just two things. Number one, sports are by definition games. Really, truly, the whole point of it is that it's supposed to be a fun pastime. And two, if you think if you're a lady who was assigned that gender at birth and it was correct, and you're out there competing, and you're terrified by somebody who was assigned the gender of male at birth, who is now on hormones to become to look more feminine, and the idea of competing against them freaks you out, I don't take you seriously as a competitor. I say this as a child that wrestled adults, because in my league, it was such an unpopular sport. There weren't enough children to wrestle. Did I win? No. No, I lost thoroughly. But it was a hell of a lot of fun because, and try to grasp this, it was a game. However, Starr said the man did not. All right, let's do it. The man at the Canada meet caused such a scene, even asking the girl's mother, Heidi Starr, for a certificate of proof that her daughter was a female, that he was asked to leave, and the event was moved to a different area. Do you think that man was being serious? Let me just ask you this. Do you think that man, who presumably had a female relative of some sort there, female assigned at birth relative, do you think he was carrying around a certificate that proved that at birth she was assigned female as a gender, also known as the doctor's best guess based on the physical evidence at hand? Do you think he had that? I bet he didn't. So why would he assume that Heidi over here would have that? He didn't. He was just trying to be an asshole. However, Starr said the man did not leave and continued to cause a scene. She told Newsweek that while the man was demanding proof that her daughter was born female, his wife called her and the girl's other mother genital mutilators, groomers, and pedophiles. Starr said that the man claimed that her daughter and another girl with short hair should be disqualified from competing. The event negatively impacted Starr's daughter, who shook and cried. You proud of yourself, conservatives? Making little girls cry? You go to a track meet. As usual, everything's got to be all about you and how you can make a big damn deal about how aggrieved you are, about how you can weasel in an opportunity to make somebody feel bad. You proud of yourselves? I was just real sympathetic to the J6ers because I'm trying to be honest. Trying to be honest about cause and effect. This right here, I'm going to be honest with you about that too. You ought to be ashamed. If you're an American conservative, you caused this, you miserable cunt. I'm not even going to play a word game with that. I'm calling you a see you next Tuesday. Just let me spell that out. You ought to be ashamed. Take responsibility for this. Knock it off. Or decent folks are going to start knocking your goddamn teeth in, because that's really the only answer for this behavior. That's the only correct way to handle folks that act this way. And I acknowledge that is itself immature. But guess what? Not everybody on the left is mature. And you're going to run across idiots from time to time that lose their cool when they see you acting like this, because right is right and wrong is wrong. And in this case, the conservatives, as in most cases, are just wrong. That is why you are the kind of marks that Trump was able to trick into doing crimes for him. Mull that over for a while. And by the way, I want to talk about what you can do. We're going to do this on the outside. It's not as immature as I'm making it seem. What you can do is really simple. Show that article to people in your life who are mouthing off like this. Show that article to people that want to harass trans little boys and girls. You know, just looking to bother kids. It's the way of the conservative. All excuses that they can find to bother kids. Show that article to them. And ask them who checks. Who's the person you put in charge of checking the genitals of children? Let them deal with that. Ask them which person in that story they are more like. Are they more like the parents? Are they more like the school, just trying to keep order? Or are they like the godless heathen bothering little girls at a track meet? If it looks like they feel bad, tell them good. They should feel bad. And they can stop feeling bad when they change their ways.